Hi, we're detectives. This book is called The Great Kapok Tree, A Tale of the Amazon Rainforest. This book was written and illustrated by Lynne, and this is one of my favorite books because the story is wonderful and the pictures are beautiful. So this map shows tropical rainforests of the world, and right here it is the Amazon rainforest. Right here is rainforest right around the equator in Africa, and there are rainforests in India and Southeast Asia. And there's a little bit of rainforest on the coast of Australia. Here are some of the beautiful animals that live in the rainforest. And some of these are uh, animals that are in the book. The Great Kapok Tree, A Tale of the Amazon Rainforest by Lynne, a Gulliver Green book, published by Harcourt Incorporated. In the Amazon rainforest, it is always hot, and in the heat, everything grows and grows and grows and grows. The tops of the trees in the forest are called the canopy. The canopy is a sunny place that touches the sky. The animals that live there like lots of light. Colorful parrots fly from tree to tree. Monkeys leap from branch to branch. The bottom of the rainforest is called the understory. The animals that live in the understory like darkness. There, silent snakes curl around hanging vines, and graceful jaguars watch and wait. And in this steamy environment, the great kapok tree shoots up through the forest and emerges above the canopy. This is the story of a community of animals that live in one such tree in the rainforest. This book is dedicated to the memory of Chico Mendez, who gave his life in order to preserve a part of the rainforest. That means he wanted to save part of the rainforest, but someone killed him because of that, which is very wrong and very sad. Two men walked into the rainforest. Moments before, the forest had been alive with the sounds of squawking birds and howling monkeys. Now, all was quiet as the creatures watched the two men and wondered why they had come. The larger man stopped and pointed to a great kapok tree, and then he left. Look how large this tree is. Ooh, look at the snake, and look at the scarlet macaws, and look at the other man. This man has an axe with him. Look at the beauty of this picture. Oh, look at the jaguar curled up on a leaf, on a tree branch. The smaller man took the axe he carried and struck the trunk of the tree. Whack, whack, whack. The sound of the blows rang through the forest. The wood of the tree was very hard. Chop, chop, chop. The man wiped the sweat off that ran down his face and neck. Whack, chop, whack, chop, whack, chop. Soon the man grew tired. He sat down to rest at the foot of the great kapok tree. And before he knew it, the heat and hum of the forest had lulled him to sleep. Look at all the animals wondering why this man is here. A boa constrictor lived in the great kapok tree. He slithered down the trunk to where the man was sleeping. He looked at the gash the axe had made in the tree. Then the huge snake slid very close to the man and hissed in his ear. Signor, this tree is a tree of miracles. It is my home, where generations of my ancestors have lived. Do not chop it down. Yikes. A bee buzzed in the sleeping man's ear. Senor, my hive is in this kapok tree. I fly from tree to tree and flower to flower collecting pollen. In this way, I pollinate the trees and flowers throughout the rainforest. You see, all living things depend on one another. See the bee buzzing in the man's ear? Look at the beautiful butterflies. Wow. All of these beautiful things live in the rainforest. A troop of monkeys scampered down from the kapok tree. They clamored to the sleeping man. Senor, we have seen the ways of man. You chop down one tree and then come back for another and another. The roots of these great trees will wither and die, and there will be nothing left to hold the earth in place. When the heavy rains come, the soil will be washed away, and the forest will become a desert. It's very true. Look at all these monkeys. They all depend on the great kapok tree for their homes. A toucan, a macaw, and a cock of the rock flew down from the canopy. Senor, squeaked the toucan, you must not cut down this tree. We have flown over the rainforest and seen what happens once you begin to chop down the trees. Many people settle on the land. They set fires to clear the underbrush, and soon the forest disappears. Where once there was life and beauty, only black and smoldering ruins remain. That's so true, and it's so sad. A bright and small tree frog crawled along the edge of a leaf. In a squeaky voice, he piped in the man's ear. Senor, a ruined rainforest means ruined lives. Many ruined lives. You will leave many of us homeless if you chop down this great kapok tree. Do you think the sleeping man can hear everybody? All of these animals begging that he doesn't cut down their tree, which is their home? Ooh. A jaguar had been sleeping along a branch in the middle of the tree. Because his spotted coat blended into the dappled light and shadows of the understory, no one had noticed him. Now he leapt down and padded silently over to the sleeping man. He growled in his ear, Senor, the kapok tree is home to many birds and animals. If you cut it down, where will I find my dinner? Yikes. 4 tree porcupines swung from branch to branch and whispered to the man, Senor, do you know what animals and humans need in order to live? Oxygen. And Senor, do you know what trees produce? Oxygen. If you cut down the forest, you will destroy that which gives us all life. You know, humans breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide, and trees breathe in carbon dioxide and breathe out oxygen. And the tree porcupines are exactly right. Several anteaters climbed down the great kapok tree with their young clinging to their backs. The unstriped anteater said to the sleeping man, Senor, you are chopping down this tree with no thought for the future. And surely you know that what happens tomorrow depends upon what you do today. The big man tells you to chop down a beautiful tree. He does not think of his own children, who tomorrow must live in a world without trees. A 3-toed sloth had begun climbing down from the canopy when the men first appeared. Only now did she reach the ground. Plodding ever so slowly over to the sleeping man, she spoke in her deep and lazy voice. Senor, how much is beauty worth? Can you live without it? If you destroy the beauty of the rainforest, on what would you feast your eyes? A child from the Yanomamano tribe who lived in the rainforest knelt over the sleeping man. He murmured in his ear, Senor, when you awake, please look upon us all with new eyes. The man awoke with a start. Before him stood the rainforest child, and all around him staring were the creatures who depended upon the great kapok tree. What wondrous and rare animals they were! Do you think the man's in danger? The man looked about and saw the sun streaming through the canopy. Spots of bright light glowed like jewels amidst the dark green forest. Strange and beautiful plants seemed to dangle in the air, suspended from the great kapok tree. The man smelled the fragrant perfume of their flowers. He felt the steamy mist rising from the forest floor. But he heard no sound, for the creatures were strangely silent. The man stood and picked up his axe. He swung back his arm as though to strike the tree. Suddenly he stopped. He turned and looked at the animals and the child. He hesitated, then he dropped the axe and walked out of the rainforest. The end. This man made the right decision. He was not going to take any part of destroying the great kapok tree and the rainforest that has so many beautiful animals. I really hope you enjoyed this book as much as I enjoyed reading it. This is one of my favorite books because it's so beautiful and the story is so important. I hope to catch you on the next book. Bye, everybody.